Welcome! Today we're going to learn a simple but really powerful trick to make your English writing so much better. And this is important because when you learn to expand your sentences, your ideas become clearer, they sound more mature, and honestly, a lot more interesting. We're going to take just one basic sentence and see how we can make it grow. Okay, so what's our plan? First, we'll start with the basic simple sentence. Then we'll see how to join two ideas together, and after that, how to add some extra info for more detail. We'll put all three sentence types side by side to compare them, and then, yep, it'll be your turn to practice. Let's jump in. All right, first things first. We have to start with the foundation of all good writing, and that is the simple sentence. Just think of it as our first and most important building block. Let's use this sentence as our main example for today. Rina plays cricket. It's super clear, it's direct, and it's the kind of sentence we all use every single day. So, what is it that makes Rina plays cricket a simple sentence? Well, it's got just one subject, that's Rina, and just one verb, plays. But the most important thing, it expresses one single complete thought. That's it. Simple sentences are great. They really are. But what if you have two ideas that you want to connect? Well, that's where compound sentences come in. So let's take a look at how to build one. Okay, so here we have two separate simple sentences. We've got Rina plays cricket, and we also have Rahim reads a book. The big question is, how can we join them to make one single, longer sentence? To connect them, we use these special little words called coordinating conjunctions. You can think of them like bridges between our ideas. For instance, and or ebong is used to join similar ideas. But or kintu shows a contrast, something different. Or athaba gives you a choice, and so or thai shows a result. These little words are super powerful. Building a compound sentence is actually really easy. It's almost like following a recipe. First, you start with your first idea. Then, you pick a connector that fits. For this one, let's use but. After that, you add your second idea. And finally, you just join them together, and you're done. And here it is, our final compound sentence. Rina plays cricket, but Rahim reads a book. See how that works? We've successfully connected two complete thoughts, and we used but to show the contrast between what they're both doing. Great work so far. Now, things get even more interesting. What if you don't just want to connect two ideas, but you want one idea to actually explain the other one? For that, we need to learn how to build a complex sentence. Okay, so a complex sentence has two main parts. First, you've got the main clause. This is the strong, independent part of the sentence that can totally stand on its own, like Rina played cricket. The second part is the dependent clause. I like to think of this one as a shy friend. It's an incomplete idea, something like because she was happy, and it really needs the main clause to make any sense. It depends on it, right? Now, to connect these main and dependent clauses, we use a totally different set of connectors. These are called subordinating conjunctions. And these words are all about creating relationships between ideas. Because, or garon, explains why something happened. Although, or jodio, shows a contrast. If, jodi, gives a condition, and when, or jokon, tells us about time. So let's see what happens when we use one of these words. In our example, Rina played cricket because she had finished her homework. That word because is doing something really important. It's telling us the reason Rina played cricket. It adds a whole new layer of detail to our sentence. Awesome! We've now covered simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. So let's put them all side by side so we can really see the difference.
This chart really shows our whole journey, doesn't it? We started with that simple core idea. Rina played cricket. Then, we made it a compound sentence by connecting it to another complete thought, and she felt happy. And finally, we made it complex by adding a reason that depended on that main idea, because she had finished her homework. Do you see how that same core idea can grow and become so much more detailed?
Okay, so you now have the tools to build stronger, more interesting sentences. The key thing to remember is that you can do this with any idea you have. So now, it's your turn to practice. Let's finish up with a little challenge. Here's your simple sentence. The man is very honest. How can you use the connectors we learned about today to make this into both a compound sentence and a complex sentence? Go ahead and give it a try. I really hope this helps you build some powerful sentences and feel more confident in your English writing.